steel. And we're also, if there's any sort of austenite structure that is left in there that hasn't been transformed, it will be allowed to transform back to its martensite at this point.
So when we're done, do you want austenite or
Martensite.
martensite?
The austenite only is only present, for the, generally speaking, there might be a little bit left over through the process, but generally when you heat it up, you get that austenite and it opens up. And then when it normalizes again, it closes back down to that 5-sided figure.
So we want to end up in martensite.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So is everybody with me on tempering? Okay, so that should find us our balance between our characteristics, give us the toughness we need, but still have the stress taken out and give us our flexibility.
And we have an oven in here.
Yep. We got 2 of them, I think.
Little ones?
Just little, yeah, there's a couple, 1 or 2 around, yeah, there's little ones.
Just curious.
Yep.
I didn't know.
So the quench occurs during the hardening, and then the tempering is heated for that length of time. Slowly it sits there, and then it just air cools back down, or do you quench it after the tempering as well?
Nope, I'll punch out tempering, just
Okay.
very cool.
So we're gonna hit real fast on how we do something. We don't want you jumping ahead and doing it. Or when somebody gets to that point, we'll give you a hand and we'll show you what to look for in those colors. What we gotta do when we get to that point. Otherwise it cramps too much information on people too fast. Now, we've really defined this program, so we're not doing that to you.
So there's one other state that steel can be in that I need to talk to you guys about, okay? And that's called annealing, or an annealed state. Okay? So, normalizing is just letting the air cool. Okay, that's after we're done with our foraging sessions, anything like that. Annealing is something we're gonna do when we have our blade to its final profile and we're ready to grind on it, okay?
Like that one.
Just like this one here, except this would have the tang set in. Okay? This at this point, needs to be ground down, the bevel needs to be ground in, it needs a whole bunch of grinding. What we're actually gonna do is we're going to anneal this steel and make it soft so that we can grind it a lot easier, and not wear all of our belts out and, have stress in the steel or anything. We just want it completely soft, stress-free. The way that we do that is the opposite of all these, okay? We actually cool it super slowly. Okay, we'll bring it up to non-magnetic.
Oh, non-magnetic.
Yep, non-magnetic is,
A dull red.
yeah, I don't know, in my eyes it's like a dull orange, but,
Okay.
um,
Everybody sees the color different.
it's
So we'll
important for you-
show you.
It's important for you guys to grab that magnet and test for yourselves.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're gonna feel when it sticks and feel when it doesn't.
Cool.
But non-magnetic is one of the most fundamental things to know, as far as heat treating. It's that point where everything just kind of changes with steel. Okay.
It's kind of like, how do you say that? Throwing a pin on salt water will go to the magnet. Okay? And it's kind of like, you got this iron that is flowing, it's non-magnetic. You quench it, it's gonna want to pull north. It's,
When
You
it becomes
put
magnetic, it
Yeah.
regains its magnetic pole, which is, northern hemisphere, it's to the north, right? Or north and south, okay? So let's say we have, it's probably not gonna happen in a small blade, but let's say we're trying to heat treat a sword, something with some significant length in it or something like that.
anything over that long.
Anything over about that long, you're actually gonna, really, we're gonna practice it in this class with our smaller blades just to be sure. But for you guys, just an example, if we were talking about heat treating a sword, and we get up to that non-magnetic, and we're gonna quench it quickly. If we were quenching it in a direction and we move it like this, and we keep it moving, so we break up the air barrier around it in that quenching medium. If we were to quench it east to west, that tip, or whichever end, it's gonna wanna realign to that magnetic north, and you're actually gonna find the bow in your blade, okay?
Really?
So this is north to south, this corner is north, that corner is south, okay? So when we're heat treating our blades, we're gonna wanna do that same thing and go north to south.
No kidding, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's so amazing.
When you replant a tree, you wanna replant it facing in the same direction that that plant was going in, because it provides less of a shock to the tree.
No kidding.
They aren't all just going up. Just kidding. So back to annealing.
Down.
Back to annealing. We're gonna cool it down super slowly. Okay, this is an opposite from all of these. We use a medium like,
You wanna talk about cycle?
yeah, I did a little bit when you stepped outside actually.
Okay.
But I will. Vermiculite, wood chips, anything that is going to insulate your piece and cool it really slowly, okay? And what we want to often do times when we stick it in a bucket of vermiculite, which we're going to use in this class, we're going to actually want to take another piece of steel, heat it up, put it in that spot, and kind of prep that area.
We need to
Okay,
get
so
the
we
one
don't
shot
shock
of
it.
This is amazing.
Okay? What that does, it just allows all that stress to be out of there, your steel is now soft, and we can go to the grinding stones, and it's gonna be twice as easy to grind in profile.
But you kinda start getting the idea of why it's years and years of knowledge.
Now,
Generations now.
to put this into context, I can understand the normalization and the hardening. Do we then do the annealing so that we can grind it and then the tempering, or do we do tempering and then annealing? I mean, I'm uncertain about, but I'm trying to put
Okay.
steps in place.
Normalizing is what happens when we're done with our forging.
Right,
That's completely different.
that's completely different.
Okay. We're gonna first anneal it
Okay, that's.
to get our blade shaped, get everything ground up, everything down 100%. So we're 100% ready with that blade to be heat treated,
And
hardened.
then we do the hardening and tempering.
Yeah. Heat treating is this process of hardening and tempering, okay?
And then after the annealing, we not only do the back, but we also cut the sides and all that sort of stuff,
Do everything.
everything.
I mean,
So
you're,
we anneal it after we temper it?
no.
No, I thought so. Good, thank you. You got me. I thought,
Before we harden and temper,
I heard.
that's what I want.
So, quick question.
This
maybe-
isn't, 100% true all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Got it.
Okay? We had a question?
I do. So, and I'm sure you're gonna go over this later anyway, but I know when I grind, then I put a lot of, grind marks on my steel, so how do you get rid of those then?